Good morning, everybody. Welcome to video number 3. Today, we're going to go into math. Alright, so today this video is going to be slightly different than when we normally do. Okay? Now, what we have to do today is practice something that we have done a very long time. Okay? So, I sent you a worksheet that I would like us to do manually, okay? So for that, I'm going to ask you to get some things. For example, first thing that you need is a ruler, okay? Doesn't have to be a perfect ruler, but it does have to be at least 20 centimeters long, okay? You need some paper. My paper is white paper, but your paper doesn't have to be white. You can have it lined. It does have to be bigger though, like a notebook piece of paper. That would be fine. And you also need some pencils or some markers. Like I'm going to be using markers. That's going to be my tool of choice today. You guys can use pencils or colored pencils, or regular pencils or pens if you have any. Okay, anything that you want to make this attractive. Okay, what are we going to do? We are going to do a multiplication grid, and I'm going to make it with you so that you know what I want you to do, okay? So, now that you have your tools, go ahead and get them. You can pause this video while you get them, and I'm going to explain to you what I want you to do, because this is a very good project that we need to start memorizing every single multiplication factor from 1 to 12. So we have to know the entire timetables of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay? So, go get your paper, go get eraser and pencils and colored pencils and markers and your ruler. That's all you need, and a bit of patience, okay? And then I'm going to show you what I want you to do. So, go get your stuff and I'll be waiting here, okay? Alright, so this is going to be our working station, and as you can see, I have my paper. It's lined up horizontally, okay? What I need is my ruler. It's my ruler measures in centimeters, and I'm going to take this marker. Now with this marker, first thing I'm going to make is a square, and I don't have to make it really perfect, but it will have to be good enough, okay? It have to be square. So I line up, every ruler has numbers, so I line up the numbers so that they're all pretty much on the same line. And I'm going to make my square be 19.5 times 19.5. So I create a point in the 0, and where it says 19, and in the middle between 19 and 20, there's a larger line. I go another point there, okay? And then I aim my ruler on top of that little point, exactly on the 19.5, and make sure that it's sort of straight. So I have the same distance here and here. I'm just going to eyeball it. It's going to be a visual perception, okay? And I'm going to go over here and do the exact same thing. I've placed it in 0. Sorry. You go and you place it from 0, you go and you put 19.5, okay? So 0 here, and this is an approximate. It doesn't have to be exactly exact. I put a little dot there. I don't know if you can see it, but there it is. Okay. And what am I going to do? I'm going to connect the dots. Nice and easy. I want you to hold the ruler, start from any point that you like. I'm going to start here. Make sure that the points are aligned. Hold your ruler with your firm hand there firmly, and then softly glide the marker, the pencil, the colored pencil that you're using. I know that Rafa is left-handed, so you're going to have to use your right hand is going to be your firm hand. Now, I'm not going to try and do that because I'm not left-handed, or I am only left-handed when my right hand is injured. I can do it here. It's going to make my life simpler. So I'm going to put firm. Whoa, I can't believe I'm doing this. Oh my god. Okay. Not as good as Rafa, but alright. So I hope that Sahyan and Fabrice, you're following along. And Luis, if you're watching this also. I now have a square. Okay? Now the idea here is that I make my square have grids. Lines are going to be horizontally and vertically. Now, horizontal lines go from right to left or from left to right. It really doesn't matter in this case that it's a square. And vertical lines go top to bottom or bottom to top, okay? Now, how do I make sure that I have the amount of lines that I need? Well, I need to have 13 squares. And in order for me to have 13 squares in a 19.5 square block here, this square that I have, I need each to measure 1.5 centimeters, okay? So I place my ruler with a 0 and a 19. I can start wherever I want. It really doesn't matter. So I'm going to start making these little marks on the inside. 1.5. I make a little mark. Then 1.5 and 1.5 is 3. Then 4.5. Then 6. Then 7.5. I'm just adding 1.5 every time I go. Then it's 9, then it's 10.5, then it's 12, then it's 13.5, then it's 15, then it's 16.5. Okay? You got it? 16.5, and then it's 18, and then from here it's 19.5. Okay? So I have these little lines, okay? And what I do is on the opposite side, I do the exact same thing. Now in this particular case, it doesn't matter if I start from the bottom or from the top. Okay, I place my ruler very near the border and I go 1.5, make a little line, 3, make a little line, 4.5, make a little line. The same numbers that I just did, I'm just adding 1.5 every time. 9, 10.5, 12, 13.5. I'm going to try not to write over to the outside of my square. And 15, 16.5, and 18. Okay? Now, if you go outside the square, that's also fine. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is connect these dots to create lines. So I hold a steady hand, firm ruler, make sure the dots are aligned with my ruler, and I just connect the dots. If you're not a pro at using rulers, that's okay. The only way to become a pro is by doing it over and over and over again. And you're going to see when I start joining the rest of the lines that they're all the same width. They have the same distance and they're wide, okay? This is how wide they are. And I'm going to go connect the rest of my dots to have all my lines. All my lines. Now, as I told you, you need to have how many lines? 13 in total. Okay, 13 spaces really, not 13 lines. So here we go. I go to the side, and this is my last one. Whoops, this is bothering me a bit, so I'm gonna take it out. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, so what do I have here? I have all my lines, and I'm missing, I have my vertical lines, according to me, from my perspective, and I'm missing the horizontal lines. So what I do is I measure, just like I did on the other side. I go here 1.5, and then I go 3, and then I go 4.5, and then I go 6, and then I go 7.5, and then I go 9, trying not to reach the outside of the border, then 10.5, then 12, then 13.5, then 15, then 16.5, then 18. All right? And boom, I go right to the opposite side. Now, it's always easier if I'm going to move these markers out of the way so that I have enough space that you can see what I'm doing. If you don't have it like that, you can also do it from the outside in. So I can take my paper and just do it like that. Place it on the border and go 1.5 and 3. So long as my 0 is the beginning and the 19.5 is at the end, you can do this nice and comfortably. 3 and then 4.5 and then 6 and then 7.5 and then 9 and then 10.5 and then 12, 13.5, 15, 16.5, 18. All right, now that I have marks, what do? Well, I connect the dots or the little lines to form lines, okay? So you do that all the way to the bottom. And as you can see, this is a square, so it's all becoming very beautifully the same size as squares, because I did this by measuring. I didn't go crazy. I didn't do crazy lines. Oops, I skipped there a little bit, went overboard. That's okay. We're doing good work. I hope you're following along and doing it with me. Okay, here we are. I'm almost done. I'm missing a few lines. And when I'm done, I'm going to switch colors. I'm going to make mine really colorful because what am I going to do with this? I'm going to paste it on my mirror in my bedroom, somewhere I can see it every day, remind me of the hard work that I'm doing, and also helping me learn my multiplication table. So voila! I now have my grid is complete, and I'm going to take this grid and name it. I'm going to take my favorite color, which is this one, and go ahead and say today is 15/05 because it's May, all right? And I'm going to go Miss Maria Clara's multiplication grid. Yes, I am making this sideways. All right? So what do I need? I need you to pick a side, any side that you feel comfortable with. And I'm going to start working with this side and this side. So you need to cover a top edge and a left edge. No matter where you're looking at this paper from, when you start, you may not change. So what are we going to do? I'm going to start working on this top side. Okay? And so for that reason, I can even switch it like this so that you can see it better. Or like this, okay? Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to start at the very top and I'm going to go down, okay? I'm going to write the numbers. And it's going to... Okay. So now that you have your grid, you're going to make sure that you leave the first corner at the top left, wherever you start, really empty. So you put your finger on it, and then you go to the right, filling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so 10, 11, and 12. Okay? Keep your finger there and go to the opposite side. Just one more row to the bottom, one more column. Rows are to the right and columns are down. So we're going to start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay? And finish this. All right? So what do I want you to do? Well, this is the simple one. This is the orderly multiplication grid. I'm going to change my color and switch to this purple one. Okay? Now the important thing is here that I don't go rambling with numbers crazily. No, I'm going to start doing this in order. You can start in any order that you like, but my recommendation is to start either horizontally or vertically. Okay? What do I mean by that? I want this number by this number. 1 times 1 equals 1. Okay? 1 times 2 equals 2. 1 times 3 or 3 times 1 equals 3. So no matter where I start reading it from, I have to match the pink. 4 times 1, 1 times 4. And no matter where I see it, 5 times 1, 5. 1 times 6, 6. 1 times 7, 7. 8 times 1, 8. 9 times 1, 9. 10 times 1, 10. 1 times 11, 11. 1 times 12, 12. And I'm going to switch a different color, okay? And just go with this orange. And I can go down. I already fixed this 1 times 1 is 1. And 1 times 2 is 2. And 1 times 3 is 3. And 1 times 4 is 4. 5 times 1, But 6 times 1, 6. 7 times 1, 7. 8 times 1, 8. 9 times 1, 9. 10 times 1, 10. 11 times 1, 11. 12 times 1, 12. Okay, so I can read it 1 times 9 or 2 times 1. It really doesn't matter if I read it from the top to the bottom or from the left to the top. It really doesn't matter. The important thing is that I fill them all out. So I'm going to choose, not this one because I already used it, this one, a blue one. I'm going to finish this, okay? So 2 times 2, so 2 times 1 is 2, but 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times 3 is 6, and 2 times 4 is 8, and 2 times 5 is 10, and 6 times 2 is 12. See how I'm reading it from different directions? 7 times 2 is 14, 2 times 8 or 8 times 2, 16, and 9 times 2, 18, and 10 times 2, 20, and 11 times 2, 22, and 12 times 2, 24. Now, what is important about this? I know that by now you notice a series. A series is when I can determine a pattern. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I'm counting in ones. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and I'm counting by twos. But counting by twos is something that everyone can do since you're in 2nd grade. So we are in 4th grade. This is year 4. So I don't need you to know them like that. I need you to know what each number represents. So this 14 is 2 times 7 or 7 times 2. That's the part that has to be memorized into your brain, okay? Now, what's going to happen? You're going to finish off this grid for homework, and you're going to make another grid that I'm going to show you in video number 2. So, see you soon!